Hey everybody, and welcome back. We are actually in season 2 of our Grace Pathway podcast, and I am your host, Matt Roberts, and I'm excited that you're joining us. However you're tuning in, we're so glad that you're here. As always, make sure you hit that subscribe button, like, comment, share the story. We believe that God has given us opportunities to use this space, this platform, to share stories of all that God has done, all He's continuing to do in people's lives at our church Pathway. And so we're going to jump right into today's episode. I've invited one of our young adults, Jordan Caruso, to the podcast. Welcome.
Well, thank you.
How do you feel? You feeling okay?
I'm feeling great.
Awesome.
Thanks for inviting me.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Jordan, you recently started coming to Pathway, not even like a year ago. We're coming up on a year, though, in the fall, right?
In January.
So this year, literally, this year, you've come to Pathway. I actually met you after I met your newly husband. You've only been married now, not even a year yet.
Not even a year.
Newlyweds.
Yeah.
Come on now. I love that.
Mm-hmm.
I wish we could take the credit that you met at Pathway and it was, romantic. But we met you guys after all of that. But we hung out for coffee and we were talking about, your story. And I said, man, this is one that we need to share. And so, hey, thank you for being here. Thanks for being willing to be vulnerable. I know it can be tough, especially in front of a bunch of cameras and knowing like who's going to watch this and all that.
Yeah.
But we're glad that you're here. So first off, let me just ask you this. Where's home for you? Where would you say home is?
So I grew up in Reading.
Okay.
I'm from here.
From and born and raised.
Like born and raised in Reading. I've moved around quite a bit, but every time I move, I end up back in Reading. So I would say my home is Reading.
Keeps bringing you back in.
Yeah, just keeps looping me in.
Now, since you grew up in Reading, was that like, I got to get out of Reading?
Yes.
Yes, you had the island fever inside.
Yeah.
You're like, And a lot of people have that. A lot of people who grew up in Reading, they're like, I need to get out. So you had that. And what was, did you grow up in a Christian home? What was home life like for you as a kid?
So home life for me, I grew up myself. I was atheist.
Okay.
I went to church every now and then with my grandmother when she would invite me when I was staying with her.
Okay.
And I grew up every summer going to a Bible, summer camp. It's called Sierra Bible Camp. It doesn't exist anymore.
Okay.
But I would go there every summer with my aunt and my grandma who kept on getting me to go. But
it just never took the full, didn't seal it then.
Yeah.
Got it.
It just kept on. I would do it because it's what my grandma wanted me to do, and I didn't believe in it. Yeah. I thought that God really was just a dude, like a big dude in the sky that kind of just told you what you couldn't do.
Gotcha.
And had all of these rules.
Sure.
That you had to follow. But
now, did you get that perspective? I'm curious. Did you get that perspective from going to camps, or was God talked about in the house at all, or was it just like what you've kind of pieced together over time? Like, how old were you when you were going to these camps?
So I started going to these camps when I was 4.
Okay.
And then I stopped when I was around 12 or 13, when I decided that ultimately that God wasn't for me. That I just, but throughout the years of going to these camps, I just kept on hearing about God and like how there's all these set rules in the Bible, and I didn't know what the Bible was really.
Right.
I had gotten baptized at this church, but I didn't know what it meant because that's kind of just what you did when you turned to 12 and you were going there.
Yeah.
But I knew while getting baptized too that I did not believe in God.
Really?
Yeah.
But it was just what everyone did.
It was just what everyone did and what everyone was doing that summer.
It's like all the cool kids are getting baptized. Might as well just do it.
Might as well join them.
Yeah, wow. But not believing in God.
Yeah, didn't believe in God.
Now, was there something that was just like made you go, nah, I'm not going to believe that? It just seemed too far-fetched? Like, never felt like it was, or was it more of like, if that's the God that everyone's talking about that's full of rules and stuff, I don't want it? Or which one was it for you?
It was more of the second one, but also I had been experiencing so many things in my life at that point. Like, my mom was sick for a long time. And I also had a lot of family members and friends who were passing away, and I thought that, like, if there was this God that all of these people were talking about, like, why would all of these things be happening?
Wow. Yeah. I mean, that's the number one question, right? Why do bad things happen to good people, right? Okay, so tell me, like, when was this? When did that kind of start to change for you? Because obviously now today you're a very strong Christian. But for you, like growing up atheist, so you enter high school, or you're 12, been baptized, don't believe it. So that's like junior high. Then you're in junior high, going to high school, and and I know people who I don't believe in God, and their high school experience is very different. So what was high school like for you?
It was a lot of partying.
Okay.
I found the party scene very early. I started drinking a lot, and I started just doing drugs, and I was just getting addicted to the party lifestyle. But during that time, also, my mom, who was sick, she was misdiagnosed with MS, and I went with my grandmother, who's a believer and has been my whole life, to Walmart, and somebody walked up to us to pray over my mom, not knowing us. And I was being atheist. I kind of had the thought of, okay, like, if that helps you, great, but, like, that's really weird.
Yeah.
Like, it's kind of weird that we're just standing in the middle of Walmart right now and somebody's praying over us.
Sure.
But 2 weeks after that, which I hadn't told my mom about this until a couple of years ago, but 2 weeks after that, my mom woke up and was perfectly fine.
Whoa.
Perfectly fine. Like nothing had ever happened.
Just one day.
Yeah.
Chronic pain.
Chronic pain. My mom really is a big part of my story with this. She was paralyzed, and I was helping her speak. I was helping her like do everything. And then one morning she woke up and was fine.
What did that do for your psyche and everything? Because that's got to mess with you. I mean, you are caregiving to your mom, which one is like horrific and hard to do for anybody, but let alone your mom, who's in chronological is usually the one that wants to be taking care of you. And here you are flipping that, and you're having to do that, and then one day you're doing that, and your mom is one day fine. Like, what did that do for you? Was that mess with your mind? Did that so many questions? Like,
yeah.
What did that do for you?
So it really messed with me. A lot of my identity at that point was caring for my mom. Like when I was at home, my first priority was making sure that my mom was okay and making sure she had everything she needed. And then all of a sudden not having to do that anymore. I turned back to partying and diving deeper into a scene that I shouldn't have been involved in the first place.
And there's no judgment, because I know it's like if you don't have Jesus as your personal savior, you're looking for something, anything to numb some pain, make you feel something. I want to feel alive. I want to feel a part of something else. And so if you can dive yourself, a lot of people dive fully into their careers, their work. They dive into relationships. They dive, even if it's unhealthy, they're like, but I can control this. I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
So I totally understand what you're talking about. And even as Christians, if God has not we've been saved, but we haven't surrendered, right? We still, even though we're saved, and we can still let the shackles of our past be what we pour ourselves into, thinking we can find hope and healing there, when we just find pain at the end of the day. Okay, so your mom gets healed, or wakes up and she's feeling better, and then now that takes you back to the moment. Okay, so pick me up from there. What happens next?
So throughout high school, my senior year, my teachers didn't think I was going to graduate.
Really?
Because I was trying to find what drove me, and that was alcohol. And so that's what I was pouring my life into, was when my next party was, or like when the next time I could drink was. And I graduated with a 1.8 GPA.
Wow.
From high school.
Wow.
And it wasn't until our finals week where somebody, like one of my teachers, was like, okay, you just need a couple more points to be able to walk at graduation. I'm going to give you this extra credit assignment so you can actually graduate.
Wow.
And that really helped me a lot because it put into perspective for me that I wasn't focusing on what was right in front of me, and that was really like me growing up, becoming an adult.
Right.
And I was just in the moment of being a teenager and trying to figure out like what I was doing.
And you had someone who was willing to like, hey, I'm gonna meet you where you're at.
Yeah.
And maybe you don't deserve this.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna show you some grace, and I'm gonna throw you a bone here and help you, and recognize. Hopefully, you can from this moment you can see that there's a hope. There's future.
Yeah. Okay,
so you graduate. Now, did you have a boyfriend in high school, in college? Or what happened in that time frame there?
Yeah, so my family used to call me a serial dater.
What does that mean?
I never had a time where I wasn't in a relationship in high school and college. Right. But going into college, like it was around quarantine. COVID. My freshman year of college was when COVID hit.
Oh, jeez. Yeah.
And I was in Oregon, and we were on spring break, and I was up in Portland, and I was in a relationship with somebody I shouldn't have been in. It wasn't healthy at all. But we were up there for spring break, and then our college was like, oh, you have an extra week of spring break. Awesome. Great. Sure. Get a party.
Right.
And then a couple days later, they called us and they said, hey, you need to get all of your stuff out of the dorms. Like, you need to move.
It's shutting down.
Yeah, like, we're shutting down for the foreseeable future.
Whoa.
And so I was like, okay, I'll drive down from Portland, back down the entire state of Oregon to Ashland, where I was going to college, and get all my stuff and then bring it back home to Redding. The border between Oregon and California was shut down. So I was stuck in this situation of I had to go back to Portland with this person that I did not want to spend time with.
Wow.
It was an abusive relationship. And having to spend extended periods of time living in the same house as this person. And for the foreseeable future until the border finally opened up for people to come through. So it was the second that I saw that they announced that they opened the border again, I had never unpacked my car.
Yeah.
When we went back up to Portland, I drove all the way back down that day. And it's from Portland to where I was living in Anderson was probably about 8 or 9 hours.
Yeah, just like, a long journey.
Going from here down to LA.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Yeah. So you're in the midst of COVID. Isolation.
Yes.
Battling, I'm sure, I can only imagine battling depression, battling all the stuff, the party scene, the being in the relationships that, aren't giving life to you. Where do you go from here?
So from there, I tried staying home, but it was hard for me coming back from all my freedom that I had in college, back home. But eventually, I moved back up to Oregon, back to my college, and I became a tour guide, and I worked in housing, and I worked for admissions at the school, and I met one of my best friends still to this day, who was a leader of the only college ministry on that campus.
Whoa.
And the director of that college ministry's name was also Jordan, so we became friends pretty fast. When you share a name with somebody, you're automatically best friends.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
And they could see how how I was living and how I was living my life, and that I was atheist. And they were trying to invite me to church and inviting me to all of these things, but I was in college.
Yeah.
I was like, I can still make this decision for myself. I'm not going to.
Right.
And then kind of fast forward through that, the semester before I was supposed to graduate from that college, I almost lost my life from my previous boyfriend from COVID.
Really?
Yeah.
So did you guys get back together, or?
We never got back together, but I was friends with his roommate.
Okay.
So I was in his dorm a lot.
Okay.
But there was a moment where he tried to kill me. And we very quickly called the cops and he went to jail, but the school told me that either they could ban him from going to school there while I finish, or I could transfer.
Those are your options.
Those are my options. And after experiencing something traumatic like that, you don't want to be around the scene that you're in.
No, they're just reliving it every day.
Yeah. And so I decided to transfer. And because it was the semester that we were going into the semester that I was supposed to be graduating,
right.
The only college that accepted my transfer that late was Chico State.
Okay.
And they didn't accept any of my credits.
No way.
So I was going in as
starting over
as a senior, completely restarting.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So my first day on campus there, it was really hard because I was like having all these thoughts again, because during that time also I was dating somebody who passed away. And I had a best friend who passed away, and I had family members who passed away. And I was going through all of this grief and all of these emotions, and it popped in my head of, God's definitely not real.
Sure.
Because of if God's real, why do bad things happen to good people?
Why am I experiencing this much pain?
Yeah.
If there's a God who loves me.
Yeah. It's like there's no way that God's real if I'm experiencing this extreme amount of pain.
Right.
And there's a college ministry on Chico State's campus that they do a lot of outreach, and I was sitting outside of my physics class, and I remember this very clearly, that I was thinking all of these thoughts and I was having all of these emotions. And this girl just came and sat down next to me and started talking to me about God while I was thinking that God wasn't real. And I was like, was it on my face?
Is there a sign saying,
like, is there something on my face right now that is saying that I'm thinking this? So she shared the gospel with me, and I was like, okay, cool. I'll give you my phone number so you can text me, but
that's it.
That's it.
Yeah.
And so that was around January of 2022 or something like that.
Yeah.
And so she was texting me, and I just kept on making up excuses, or I honestly told her a couple times, I was like, oh, I have a party I'm going to tonight, so I can't go. I was honest.
Yeah, being honest.
It's like, that's great for you that you believe in God and you have all these things, but
for me, that's not where.
Yeah, that's not me.
Sure.
In October of that year, I had gotten in a motorcycle crash. And honestly, it saved my life.
Really?
Yeah. So I was on the back of a motorcycle with somebody, and we were around the corner from where I lived, They were dropping me off at my house. We were around the corner from where I lived, and we were stopped waiting to turn, and somebody rear-ended us, going pretty fast.
And that just like launched you guys?
Yeah, it launched me.
Were you stopped and it came and just smacked you?
It just smacked the back of us.
Oh my gosh.
And I got launched because I was on the back.
How fast were they going?
So I don't remember the crash. But the cops and everyone around says that the person was probably going 35, 40, maybe 45.
So you should be dead.
Yes.
Right away, it's like upon impact. 35, yeah. 40. And you don't remember any of this?
I don't remember it.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Okay.
The only parts that I remember are from videos that people took of it, because the person also ran off.
Oh, good night.
So everyone was recording it, trying to
get video.
Yeah. And the only part I know of is what's in the video is that my phone was calling 911 because I got in a crash. Because it has the crash detection or whatever.
Sure. So you get launched. You don't remember any of this.
Don't remember anything.
And then you wake up in a hospital or something, or what?
Yeah, so I woke up the next day in the hospital. They said that I had been awake throughout the entire time, but I actually woke up the next day in the hospital. Whoa. And the doctors and the nurses were like, okay, you should be dead. And the only injuries you have a minor fracture to your spine, and you have a concussion.
That's it?
Yeah. Like, they even kept my helmet because it was the inside was broken.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So they were like, we don't know how you're alive.
Wow.
And from my concussion, I didn't know who I was. I didn't know who anyone was.
Whoa.
Yeah.
So you have no recollection of why you're there.
Yeah.
You have no recollection of who you are. Mm-hmm. And yet somehow you're in this hospital. Mm-hmm. Is family coming to visit? Is anybody, like, everyone's there?
Yeah, my aunt was there.
Did you recognize her? Remember?
I did.
Okay, so you remembered some faces.
I remembered.
But not you.
Yeah.
Whoa.
And
what was, okay, because that's, I don't want to, like, rush past this, because, like, there's so much there. What is that like to wake up and not know who you are?
It's alarming.
Yeah, I can say the least.
Like, I could recognize everyone that was around me. I couldn't remember names. I couldn't remember anything. And it was insane.
To say the least.
To say the least, it was pretty insane.
Yeah.
Yeah, the one thing that really I could remember was that I had a friend that had told me about church. And there was somebody in my class that also had told me about church and the college ministry that they were a part of.
Of all the things you remember.
Of all the things that could have stuck during my concussion and my crash, those are the two things that stuck.
Wow. Okay. So because you have minor bumps and bruises and a concussion, how long did you have to stay in the hospital?
I got released the next day. Yeah.
Sure. Okay. Naturally.
Yeah.
Just survived a miracle car accident, and you have no recollection of who you are, but it's fine. Go.
Yeah, it's great.
So you remember church, an invitation for church. So where did you go after you get out?
I actually, while I was in there, I FaceTimed my friend that invited me to church.
The one that invited you, that you said, that's good for you, and thumbs up.
Yeah.
But I have no time. That friend?
Yeah. So she got a FaceTime from me while I was in the hospital bed.
Meanwhile, you don't know who you are, but you know this person. And
yeah.
She knows you.
Yeah.
Okay. I love this so much. Keep going.
But so, and I couldn't do anything by myself because I could walk, but it wasn't. I had to relearn how to walk in a way that wasn't painful.
Wow. Because you fractured part of your spine.
Yeah.
Whoa.
And so I couldn't do anything by myself. And so she, like, as soon as I got out of the hospital, she was over helping me, like, just helping take care of me, helping make sure I had everything I needed. And she took me to church with her, because I for the first few weeks after my crash, that was the only thing I could remember. And so she was taking me to church with her in this college ministry and meeting all of her friends, and one of whom is now my husband.
Oh, spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert.
Come
one of whom
on.
is now my husband.
Let's go.
But she was introducing me to all these people, and she was introducing me to church and introducing me to who God was and what the Bible actually said.
And was that like, so how long after going did it go from, did you have any recollection of like God or like your opinion on God after the accident?
I didn't.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa.
So
that's so crazy. Okay. So you're kind of in some sense, I don't mean this in like a negative way, but clean slate.
Yeah.
All the past like stuff and partying, all that kind of like that old version of you, no more.
Like there was nothing. And so
Whoa.
really it was, what should have killed me saved my life.
Wow.
Because I was dealing with a lot of depression. I was dealing
yeah.
with so many of these things from everything I had been going through. But not knowing who I was and not knowing anything about myself before the crash, but recognizing all of these people around me and finding love at church and finding love and knowing, like, finding out who I was in Christ, like, was before I remembered who
you were.
I was amazing.
So oh gosh, this is so good. So, okay, so you go to church, you get saved.
Yes. I got baptized 2 weeks after my crash.
What?
Yeah.
So you have, oh my goodness, this is so cool. You go and get saved, you get baptized, and I love it. I'm going to say it like this. You found your identity in Christ before you found your identity in yourself. Mm-hmm. Whoo! Like, come on. I think so often with people, and our pride keeps us going like, no, I don't want to lose myself. But Paul says, like, to live is Christ, to die is gain. We have to die to our past and to take on him. And here you are, like, slate clean. I'm going to take on all his identity, let him define who I am, and I'm going to walk in that.
Yeah.
And praise God.
Yes.
Praise God. So you're saved, you're baptized. Did your memories start coming back, or was it like, I'm just becoming new in this? What was that like?
It was both. So I was, anyone that knew me before my crash could say that I am completely different than I was, because I was a brand new person, but I also was remembering everything very slowly. But it took a lot of humility in myself because I was also working. I was a manager at my job and having to go in and ask everyone what their names were. And
talk about being humble.
Yeah, the insane amount of humility I had to experience. But after learning who I was in Christ and then also getting the memories back, it was not too long after I got baptized that I started getting my memories back of before the crash, of my childhood and how I grew up in high school and what I went through in college.
Oh, man. So you have these two worlds colliding.
Yes, and then having to go through the grief again of everything that I had experienced leading up to that point.
The pain, yeah.
But
wow,
knowing ultimately that it was all God trying to bring me to him and bring me closer to him and like trying to meet me where I was every single time. Man. And it took me almost dying for me to meet God.
Wow. Whew. And then, like, you spoiler alert, but you start going to church.
I do.
You're going to young adults. You're hanging out with people, and you're running towards God. Mm-hmm. And then you look over and you recognize there's somebody else who's running towards God, the president of the group.
Yep.
Your now husband, Devin.
Yes.
And I mean, was it like love at first sight?
No.
Was it? No, it was not.
So he was very honest with me that he didn't want to date anyone in college.
Okay.
And I was very honest with him that I was going on dates with other people.
Okay. Got it.
But it took a while of us being friends.
Yeah. For
me to finally ask him, hey, what are we doing?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, he eventually asked me on a date.
Yeah.
Yeah, spoiler alert.
Yeah. Which then led you guys to date for a year?
Yes, just over a year.
Just over a year?
Yeah.
And then I think you said, was it along the year you guys also decided it was important that you guys also went on mission trips?
Yeah.
Separately.
So it was very important for us before we got married for at least me to go on a mission trip.
Never been before. This is brand new to the faith.
Yeah. The only mission trip I had been on before was through our college ministry that I was leading.
Right.
Like that I went to my old college.
Oh.
I went to the dorms where everything happened. I went to the
and relive all that.
Yeah. I went to where all of my classes were.
Whoa.
I went to the dining hall that I worked at.
Wow.
And we were there helping Jordan, who was the director of the only college ministry there. And he was like, I knew you would join the family. Like, I haven't stopped. I prayed for you every single day since I met you.
The person at your college, the one that all this stuff went down up in Oregon, was praying for you. And then when you went back on a missions trip, they said that. They said, I haven't stopped praying for you.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah.
Like, that's so cool. Okay. Yeah. Don't stop praying, people. Like, if you're watching this, yes. Like, prayer works. Don't give up. I mean, like, gosh, I can name off a few people in my life that there are times I'm like, I don't even know. Like, they're too far gone. Mm-hmm. Do they not? You can't want it for them, right? You can't live your life for them, but you can pray. And sometimes we're like, God, I can just pray. No, prayer does way more than we even realize. Mm-hmm. And that's so cool. Okay, so you experienced that trip.
Yeah.
Which probably rocked your world a little bit.
A little bit.
Yeah.
Because I was expecting to go back and experience a whole bunch of trauma and stress and all of these things. But I went back. I met up with almost all of my friends that I was going to school with before.
Wow.
And talking with them, and it was completely different.
Getting to talk about Jesus.
Yeah.
Getting to talk about what he's done in your world.
Yeah. Rather than talking about like, oh, hey, when are we going to go party again?
Right.
But I went on that trip. And before Devin and I decided to get engaged, we were telling each other that it was important for me to go on a mission trip out of the country.
Wow.
Without him.
Wow. And see if this flame between the two youngs can continue thousands of miles apart.
Yes.
Wisdom.
Yeah.
So where did you go on your missions trip?
I went to Cambodia and Thailand.
No big deal. For like a week or
2 months.
2 months.
Yeah.
Okay. Talk about long distance relationship here. Probably and on the mission field, as long as you can talk and do all this on a regular basis. And where was he?
He was in Taiwan.
Oh my gosh, you guys. All right. 2 very, very tough spots.
Yeah.
And what did that mission trip do for you?
So Devin and I were engaged on the mission trip, but we couldn't talk. We couldn't talk until he came back to the States. And the enemy tried really coming in and nestling in my brain.
Yeah.
because I was isolated.
Yeah.
I
Trying to get back to those old depression ways of like, you're alone.
Yeah.
Hey, are you really loved? Hey, are
Yeah.
you believing those lies? Like, is anybody gonna, and after you said the serial dater of like going from relationship to relationship, that inner heart of I want to be loved, that recognizing that love can only be from God. No human or guy can ever satisfy that. But I can relate to that. You're just searching. And so then the devil picks at those old scars and he's like, hey, remember that? Remember? And so you're on mission field, of course, on the battlefield, and you're without your person and you're without all your church community and you're there. How did you get through it?
I spent a lot of time just reading the Bible during that time. And in Cambodia, I was teaching third graders, and the kids helped me get through it.
Wow.
They were just endlessly loving me and letting me love them. And they were endlessly asking why I brought my Bible with me everywhere and like why I don't cuss and all of these things. So they showed me a lot of God's love, and like the childlike faith.
Wow.
Which is what I strive to have every day is just faith like a child. That's just selfless.
Right.
And and part of my mission trip too, I didn't know anyone on my team before I went.
No way.
Yeah, so we didn't meet until
you were there?
Until we were training. So I was in a 15-hour time difference from back home.
There are easier mission trips to go on at first. If you're watching this, you don't have to go all the way to Cambodia or to Thailand for 2 months by yourself. There are other ways. But for you, it sounded like it was exactly what you needed.
Yeah, I needed ultimately to figure out who God was for myself.
Wow.
And to figure out what the Bible said about what I was feeling and what the Bible said about marriage. And going to a country where 99% of the people there don't speak the language that you speak. It teaches you a lot about all of that. It teaches you a lot of how to have patience and how to be humble and how to just love endlessly and selflessly.
Right.
And try your hardest to learn what they're trying to say.
Right.
And it helped me come back home and be a wife and learn how to love selflessly and have the humility in my marriage.
Right.
And through all of the enemy coming into my mind and being like, okay, is this love really real? Or is he still going to be there when you get back? Or all of these things. One of my friends from our college ministry, his girlfriend was also on the trip. And I texted him one day about it, and he really led me to scripture with that of, like, if God is for us, who can be against us? And God works for the good of those who love him, who have been called according to his purpose.
Yeah.
Like, we, through those verses, and then through all that I was experiencing, it really helped me deepen my relationship with God on a more personal level and learn to love the mission field.
Yeah. And I mean, teaching little kids and sharing the love of Jesus and evangelizing to people who don't know Jesus, and then you come back and there's a little bit of a culture shock.
Yes.
A little bit, especially 2 months. You feel like, I sell everything I have. I have too much, You go through that, we have it too. The Western church is not the same, it's a whole different, transition back to reality here. Some people, they get that itch and they just can't leave it. But you're engaged, then
Yeah.
you come home. And then how long after was that? Then you guys got married?
2 months.
2 months later?
Yes.
That. So coming back from a missions trip, you guys both said, nope, we're still in this.
Yeah.
And we're going to get married. But you never lost that passion for missions.
No, I told Devin many times, even while I was over there, that I was offered to stay in Cambodia. And if I was not engaged, if I was single at the time, I would have stayed.
Wow. Says a lot about Devin. Says a lot about you.
Yes.
And that's cool. But
his first thought was, I don't know if we can support Raise that much.
Yeah. That's a lot. That's a lot for sure. But yeah, I mean, that says a lot about your heart for what you were doing and your heart for, going out. And I love that because most people have never gotten a chance to leave their own hometown, experience life outside of the comfort of America and to really, I think, though, get to that place where your foundation isn't on yourself. You don't have anything but God.
Yep.
And to get to that place. And I think the more marriages that had that, it's like, I can't rely on my strength. I can only rely on the Lord. And in my marriage, I can't rely on my work ethic. I can really rely on the Lord in this. Like, the more that we were dependent upon him and relied on him, I think the more you would, like, you experience, it'd be like, yeah, I can if I have him. Mm-hmm. I can survive this if I have him. And if anything, your story is one of survival after survival after survival, and you're a survivor, and God has wired you in that way. And yet he still has a great big plan for you and for your husband, Devin. So, okay, so you're in Chico, missions trip. What brought you to Redding, California, Pathway Church of all places?
So when Devin and I got back from our mission trips, Devin actually moved into a little studio 1-bedroom place on my grandmother's property.
Oh, okay. Sweet.
While I was still gone.
Okay.
And when I got back, I moved into my grandma's house. Mm-hmm. Because we had the thought of we could move somewhere where Devin can make a lot of money because he has his degree in engineering. Or we could move somewhere that I know already that is a big mission field, which is right here at home. Mm-hmm. Like with my friends, with anyone, my family, with just Redding in general is a huge mission field.
Right.
But we didn't have a place to live. Mm-hmm. We didn't have a church. So we came back, and while we were planning our wedding, I was working. And we fell into a loop of we didn't have a church to go to, and we stopped reading our Bible regularly, and I stopped praying. And it scared me, but I made up the excuse that I was working so much.
Sure.
And
You're tired. Life, yeah. Busyness.
And we were focused on our wedding. Mm-hmm. My stomach's crawling.
You're hungry.
Hungry. But yeah, so we were trying to figure out at least where we were going to live when we got married. And that wasn't on my grandmother's property.
Right.
And Devin didn't have a job. Mm-hmm. And I also got accepted into nursing school.
Right.
So I knew I was going to stop working so I could go to school. But we were going to a church that my grandma had been going to for years, for decades. Right. But her husband had passed away. And so she didn't want to continue going somewhere that she went with her husband.
Understandable.
Yeah. So she took me out for lunch on my birthday, actually. and we were trying to find churches in Reading, and we were scrolling through, and we saw a neighborhood church, which I had went to in high school with one of my friends. Because if somebody invited me to church when I was younger, I'd go to be nice.
Sure.
Which happened quite a bit.
You're right. I love that you were surrounded by it, but it just never took. But
yeah, it never stuck. But I went to be nice.
You went?
Yes. So I told her that I had gone to neighborhood before, and that I liked it. And then we found Pathway, which is
we were connected.
Was a part of neighborhood, and we found all of the small groups and all of the care ministries and the grief group and just all of the connections, the young adults ministry. And so my grandma texted Devin and was like, hey, do you want to go check out this church with me like next weekend or something? So they went without me. They toured the church with you.
Yeah, starting point.
Yes. And they came back and they said, okay, this is the church we're going to now.
That's awesome.
I was like, okay, I mean, I'll check it out. Okay.
Sure.
So the next week they made me request it off of work.
Love that.
So I could go. And we found Pathway, and Devin and I finally got approved for an apartment.
Wow. And
he got a job. And I started going to school and getting more connected with our church, joining small groups and serving in the cafe.
Yeah. It's so good. I think it's crazy. I mean, it's not crazy. It's actually pretty common, but I think sometimes when you're going through your Christian journey and you have this mountaintop experience, like for you, it was this mission field where you were so close with God. Then you come back to reality, and though you have a lot of good going on, you almost feel like you went from this mountaintop to this low, and your relationship with God, you feel like it's not the same, and you're like, and that happens so often, where like you said, it's like we stopped reading our Bibles, we stopped praying, and it just got busy with life, right? But I love that you guys both said, no, we need to go back to church. Yeah. We need to find that. And then since then, I mean, you guys have gotten connected. You're in multiple small groups. You're serving. You're figuring out all the next areas to get plugged in. But, man, it's just been so cool to have you guys and to have you be a part of it. And I just, first off, thank you for sharing your story. And I know this is just, you're young and you're still in your 20s, so there's still so much more story to come. I know you're going to Nepal next year for a month, and you're raising resources. And so if people want to help donate, you can. You can always talk to you or talk to me, and we'll help figure out the way to make that happen. But I love that. But in addition, if you could tell somebody or tell a younger you, right? Yeah. Someone who has heard the invitation to go to church, but someone who's experienced a lot of pain, someone who, I don't know, what would you say to encourage that person on what the power of God is, church, whatever? What would be that encouragement for that person?
Yeah. So one of them that I say a lot is that there was a statistic told to me that on average somebody hears the gospel 7 times before they choose to follow God. And whether or not it's your first time hearing the gospel or your 7th or your 49th or your 100th, one of those times it's not coincidence that people are continuing to invite you to church. It's not coincidence that if you're inviting people to church that God is telling you to invite this person to church. But it's, in a way, in a lot of people's minds, it's a lot easier to not believe. But it's a lot happier and a lot healthier, and just finding the community and finding God, finding the community and the friends in a church is completely different than what you could find somewhere else.
So good.
Because it's all people that want the best for you. I
love that. I heard you say a couple of things. I heard you say, if you are praying or if you're telling someone the gospel, don't stop. Don't stop, because I think you were invited, and it took about 49 times for you to hear. Like you said, what was supposed to kill you saved you, and because of that, I mean, God has used all of the pain that you've gone through with your mom and all of that, and that heart to care, that heart to serve, that heart to love. I mean, that's why you're going into nursing. That's why you want to go and serve people in the mission field. And then you pair that with your passion for people and shepherding and teaching them the gospel. So good. So good. So don't stop praying. Don't stop sharing the good news of Jesus. And then, man, like you said, I think there's such a power of getting connected, power of being around people that have your back, power of people that have your best, or helping you say your best yes. And so, Jordan, it's been such a privilege. Thank you so much for being on the pod today.
Thank you.
And we're so grateful you're a part of this.